Companies with clear operational values have 50% less turnover, and employees are 6 times more likely to recommend them. Here's the difference between values that work and values that don't. So I've seen this at every company I've worked with. They have values on the wall, innovation, integrity, excellence, beautiful poster, even looks pretty good in the conference room. But nobody knows what it means. Ask an employee, what do your company values mean to you? Blank stare. I think one is innovation. We're supposed to be innovative. Cool. What does that look like? I don't know. This is the problem. Aspirational values sound good in a pitch deck, but they don't guide behavior. And if your values don't guide behavior, they are useless. Companies with clear values have 50% less turnover. Think about that. If your average salary is $75K and it costs $200,000 to make that replacement, could you imagine like half the turnover? Why? Why is this the case? It's because people know the rule of the game. That's why there's less turnover in those companies. Let me show you the difference. So, aspirational versus operational. Here's the distinction. Aspirational values are what you want to be. Operational values are how you work, how you actually work on the day-to-day. Aspirational values sound like innovation, integrity, excellence, teamwork, customer-focused. They're fine, but they're vague. So what does innovation actually mean? Does it mean ship fast and iterate? Take big risks? Question everything? Try new technology? It could mean all of those or none of them. Operational values are behavioral. They describe how you work, not what you aspire to be. So an example transformation, we've got aspirational as innovation. Operational, we ship fast and iterate. Done beats perfect. Now you know what innovation looks like in your company. So, aspirational, integrity. Operationally, we have hard conversations directly, not behind backs. It's a behavior that you can see. Aspirational, excellence. Operational, we raise the bar on every hire and every project. That guides decisions, and we've got something to track against. Aspirational, teamwork. Operational, we default to transparency. Information is shared, not hoarded. That's how teamwork actually shows up. So here's a test. Can you see the value in action? Can you tell when somebody violates one of your values? Does it guide real decisions? If not, it's just aspirational fluff. So let's look at some real examples that I got for you guys. Netflix, value, freedom and responsibility. Behavioral definition. We don't have approval processes. We trust you to make good decisions. But if you make bad decisions, you're out. It's clear, it's behavioral, and it guides decisions. Amazon, the value is customer obsession. The behavioral definition is leaders start with the customer and they work backwards. We work to earn and keep customer trust. You know what this means in practice. Patagonia, value is build the best product. Behaviorally, we measure success by the positive impact we have on the environment. We don't make products that harm the planet, even if they'd sell. That guides real decisions, like when they sued the Trump administration over public lands. So compare that to, we value innovation, integrity, and excellence. Which one would you rather work for? So how do we make your values operational? Here's a practical framework that you guys can use. So here's how to turn aspirational values into operational ones. Step 1, start with the behaviors not words. Don't ask, what values do we want? Ask, when we're at our best, what behaviors do we see? Make a list, real examples from your team. Step 2, start looking for patterns. Group similar behaviors together. So if you see, we ship fast, we iterate based on feedback, we don't wait for perfect. That's one value. It's about speed. Step 3, write the behavioral definition. So for each value, write what this looks like in action, 2 to 3 sentences, what behaviors demonstrate this, and what behaviors are violating that value. We want to make it specific enough that someone could point to it as an example. Step 4, we want to test it. We want to share it with the team. We want to ask, can you see this value in how we work? If they say, I guess, it's too vague. Rewrite the thing. If they say yes, like when we did X, then you nailed it. Step 5, live it. Live the values. This is where most companies fail, and I was blessed at an early age to work at a company that lived the values. It was just their motto. So, values aren't a poster, they're the filter for every decision. So think about this in hiring. Does this candidate demonstrate our values? That should be one of the number one things that you think about in hiring. 2, performance reviews. How well did you live our values this quarter? Promotions. We don't promote people who don't live the values. Even if they hit their numbers, even if they're great, if they don't live the values, those expectations set out by the company, they don't get promoted. Firing. This person violated our values. They're out. Gandhi. If leadership doesn't hold people accountable to the values, they're just words. So the ROI. Companies with clear operational values are seeing 50% less turnover, 6 times more likely employees are recommending them. So you're not only retaining that talent, but you're getting more like-minded talent. And there's at least 26% higher revenue growth with inclusive teams because people know what's expected and they can self-select. If your values resonate, great people stay. If your values don't resonate, the wrong people leave. That's a feature. It's not a bug. So your values should mean something. Not innovation that could mean anything, but we ship fast and iterate, and done beats perfect. That's a value that you can live. You can operate by that value. When someone violates it, you know. When someone embodies it, you celebrate them. That's what operational values do. They create clarity, alignment, and a culture that sticks. So if you want help defining your operational values, I run a values workshop where we turn aspirational fluff into behavioral standards. I'll drop a link in the description or comment values and I will shoot you the framework. Let's build something worth being proud of.